but in some sense, all of them have indeed, as you describe it, been taken out of the country in violation of their constitutional right to due process, just to have the opportunity to say this is a mistaken identity or something like that. And it's not just me like coming up with that as a law professor, but it's the US Supreme Court. So that the US Supreme Court, there are 9 members on that particular issue, that they require notice and a real opportunity to actually, as the court says, file habeas. And all of these folks have been taken out without that, it seems like.
Just to be clear, that's because they're in the country and therefore they have the right to file a habeas brief or to make their case that they're being, as you say, mistaken identity or the facts.
And that is their due process.
Facts aren't facts or whatever. They have a protection against deportation, different from the border, in other words, where they can turn people away.
Yes.
Right, and that is their due process. So at least Billy Crystal did break it down and explain it because people are conflating the two. Being turned around at the border, right? Why don't they have due process if they can just turn them away at the border? Because according to all of y'all, if their toe lands on soil and they get into a house somewhere, they're citizens entitled to due process. No, they are not. It doesn't matter if they were here for 30 years. And the worryation on this professor's face, Ray Goodman, is that, well, how far are they going to go back and use the Aliens Act? The court said they are entitled to due process under habeas corpus because they are not citizens. But if you imprison someone, habeas corpus has to do with our government putting you in prison. If you don't go to prison, you're not entitled to the habeas corpus, right? And I think the majority of the public does not understand that. Anybody who's been to prison, we understand that. We know what you file to get your case looked at again. Is you say, I had ineffective assistance of counsel and I want you to review this that happened in my case that was wrong at the lower court. But you had the due process in the lower court, and that's what Crystal is explaining. But it's going over the heads of the public. I am a progressive Democrat, and I am telling you, you may not like it that Donald Trump is having his staff enforce laws that are on the books that have been laying there with dust on them. But he is not doing anything illegal. They're not citizens. They don't have the regular due process we do.